Hello, Mr. Carl. This is Lynn. I'm going to share my assignment. Part 1, the given code have general problems. First is about syntax problem. I think it requires user ID and 2 equals here before student 2. Otherwise, it will always be true. Besides, it's about logic errors. The given code didn't identify the two students' password. If I input student 1's user ID and student 2's password, it will also be welcome. In order to avoid this problem, I use if and and to solve this assignment. Another problem is about some details. The given code didn't consider the situation that the user input capital letter, lowercase letter, and space. I use replace to delete all the space in user ID. Use lower to standardize the user ID inputted. In the generated code, the ChatGPT uses dictionary to store the valid user and their correct password. I think it's more efficient when the number of users is very large, so I also use dictionary in my final code. Part 2, the biggest problem of given code is showed in task 1. The judgment condition of while loop uses variable claim. The value of claim equals to the claim in the previous loop instead of the new inputted claim. So if we input 10, 6, it will show the budget exhausted while actually the balance remains 4. I avoid this problem and get some improvement in my proposed code. I add an if to judge whether the budget is below 0, and let's just show the result. We input 10 and 6, input 8, it shows the claim exceeded 2, the budget exhausted. In the generated code, the ChatGPT used balance to represent budget minus claims. So I also use balance in my finalized code. 3. The given code has a little syntax problem. It uses I in range. I represent 1, 2, 3, and etc. here. It will not work when it's compared with A, E, I, O, U. So I use I in string here. Here I represent AIU, it's string type, and I use it to replace the long if compound. So the result is shown below. The ChatGPT generated similar answer with me. It's my final code. In part 4, the given code has several problems about durings. First, it didn't initialize during, and then it used the variable during in for loop. Secondly, it directly assigns quantity to during, which means the latest action will cover the actions before. So in the log, only this row will be considered and these 2 rows will be reflected. The third problem is about the quantity type. For now, it's string type and it should be changed into int type. Well, I use the method I've learned on the class. First, I input all of the information into data frame df1, and then I use another column net change to represent each action means quantity. And then I add all of the net changes up to show the fruit balance of each fruit. Finally, show the result. In the generated code, it mentioned the situation whether the log is empty or not. So I also consider the situation in the final log. If the log is empty, it will print error in log. To summarize, I am happy to use the materials I learned on the class to solve simple problems. I learned a lot from ChatGPT through comparing our codes. I think practically using different methods and writing codes by myself will help me understand and strengthen my memory.